President Donald Trump makes a bold claim without any evidence to support it. In other breaking news, bears crap in the woods. I'm Nathan Seelove, and this is Factually Biased. Provisional ballots, absentee ballots, mail-in ballots are still being counted in Florida. And it's important that we make sure that all of the votes are counted because we live in a democracy. And ideally, in a democracy, the person who wins should be the person who gets the most votes. And Florida has always been a little bit behind other states when it comes to their elections, and that's just something we've come to expect. However, President Donald Trump and current Florida Governor Rick Scott are trying to say that Democrats are creating widespread voter fraud. And they're saying this because as more votes get counted, the margin between the candidates, in both of the races the Republicans are ahead, is narrowing. Now, when asked for any evidence, they had none. Because of course they had none. Because there has never been any evidence of widespread voter fraud. In fact, there's a comprehensive study done on voter fraud, and it found 31 incidents out of 1 billion ballots cast. Now, those weren't just incidents of people that were prosecuted. Those were incidents of some of them were just incidents of accusations. So they are trying to create this illusion of the election being stolen based on absolutely no evidence at all. Governor Rick Scott even went so far as to say that he will not stand idly by while unethical liberals steal this election by counting all of the votes, by making sure all of the votes are counted. So, voter fraud has frequently been used as an excuse in order to pass suppressive voter laws. But here's the thing. Widespread voter fraud has never happened. So, they're suppressing votes. They're creating regulations on private citizens in order to prevent a problem that does not exist. And I think it's interesting that there are problems that do exist that they refuse to do anything about. I mean, look at climate change. 97% of scientists that publish in academic journals agree that climate change is happening and it is caused by humans. But we can't do anything about that. Because Republicans are paid off by fossil fuel industries. So it's unacceptable to pass regulations that limit billion-dollar fossil fuel companies, but it's completely okay to suppress the votes of people on the basis of absolutely no evidence. This is one of the problems that I often have with the media, because they seem to be presenting these two arguments about what's going on in Florida as somehow being equal when they're not. One side wants to make sure that all of the votes are not counted, and one side wants to make sure that all of the votes are counted. It is as simple as that. You know what? We can't sit idly by while unethical conservatives steal this election. So, whenever people try to tell you that we need to pass some law that, maybe it's going to suppress some votes, but we need to do it because voter fraud, they're not telling you the truth. They have an agenda. It's not about principle. It's about power. Now, I would just like to say that I think that there are some aspects of the conservative ideology that are admirable. And if you are a conservative, I don't want you to think that when I talk about elected Republicans that I'm necessarily directing that anger at you. Because I do think that in order for us to have an effective government, we need to have a loyal opposition. We do need to have a competent conservative party in order to keep the Liberal Party in check. I absolutely believe that. But that's not what the Republican Party is. They're not honest actors. And I'm not saying that there are no dishonest actors in the Democratic Party, but we need evidence-based arguments going on in Congress, in governor races, in the House of Representatives, and that's not what we're getting with the Republican Party. And if you are conservative, I really hope that you stop getting your arguments from these guys. Think for yourself. Present nuanced conservative arguments, because that's not what we're getting right now. And we need a new generation of conservatives. That's all I got for you. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, give it a like, a share, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought, and I will see you next week.